Hi folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report, and we're really in ice fishing world now. Our area is characterized by having a whole culture of ice fishing fishermen, and we've got lots of great places to go. But here is one of my thoughts. In the winter, you can't fish for bass legally. You're not out there ice fishing for bass. The sport fish that we go after are either northern pike or walleye. And the northern pike you're going to find in the wintertime are going to be in shallower water. They're going to be in the bays. They're not going to be out in current areas, fortunately, because you don't want to be where there's a heavy current anyway, even if there's ice over it. That's the weakest part of ice. But here's what I feel strongly about catching northern pike in the winter. Now, if you go out and you catch a couple and you eat them, this is the best time of the year to eat any kind of fish. Their flesh is going to be firmer. They're just going to taste a lot better. So this is a great time if you're going to eat fish. But our northern pike population in this area, especially in the Great Lakes waterways, in the St. Lawrence River, and all the different bays and the little feeders that come into the St. Lawrence, that population is decreased dramatically over the last 40 and 50 years. Started in the 80s is when it really started to decrease. And one of the reasons it seems to be that this has happened is the northern pike no longer have the same spawning grounds. They can't get to their spawning grounds due to a change in the environment that has come on gradually, but it's gradually getting worse and worse. The DEC is doing certain things in certain areas to try to make this be better. In other words, to clear out certain areas, to make the water channels flow more freely, to get back where the northerns used to spawn. But this is something we should be aware of. And so in being aware of this, there's only certain changes that we can make. We can't make more fish out there than there are. There's going to be whatever natural population there is. They aren't stocked. And so I think that one of the biggest dangers in my mind, to the northern pike population in the winter is that, number one, the biggest, the strongest, I'm talking about genetics now, the strongest genetics, not necessarily, always remember the biggest, oldest fish are the most subject to shock and to dying from things like that than the younger ones are. But the biggest fish, and if they've lived that long, they have to have good genetics. Those biggest fish are most susceptible because they come in right into the shallow areas in the winter where we have set up our ice fishing spots. And so we can really, I think, what happens is if you got a tournament and you've got 100 people out there on the ice, you're really putting the mainstays of the population in more stress than we can in the summer. In the summertime, those big fish tend to disappear. You'd think, geez, there aren't any in here big. But they know where to go, and they go to deeper water. They feed less often than some of the smaller fish, and there's a lot of reasons. But I just want us all to be aware that one of our great resources, which is the sport fish of this area, and northern pike have always been a favorite. They're what brought my dad and I up here all the way from downstate when I was growing up to fish for northern pike. It was the big northern pike of this area. But a lot of those big northern pike aren't here anymore, and we have to be aware of it. And I think that even if we're not avid northern pike fishermen like I am, we have to realize that they're part of this great resource. We got to try to protect them in whatever way. And it's at least being aware that maybe we have to be a bit careful of how our ice fishing tournaments target northern pike, especially if there's an awful lot of people. You know, I looked at Tupper Lake and Cranberry Lake, two lakes that have some of the biggest northern pike, but you don't see some of those big northerns being caught anymore in the winter like they were 10 years ago in these big reservoir areas. Something to be aware of, and I just wanted to pass on my personal thoughts. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.